Hello, everybody. Stream is happening. This is Joe from On the Stick. I'm alone at this moment, but as you can maybe see, if you can read Japanese, I'm going to be playing Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti, and this is part of On the Stick's The Curse of 31 Days of Horror Games, which is our 5th consecutive year doing 31 day of horror games marathon. And we're working the live streams in this year, mostly so I don't have to write a whole bunch more articles than I sort of already am. So this is just the attract mode that you're seeing right here if you're tuned in. And there's a good chance that you're watching this actually tomorrow, tomorrow, on our YouTube channel, because we are cataloging these, and then the YouTube video is going in an entry as part of the Curse of 31 Days of Horror Games, where it will remain forevermore. I thought Mike was going to join me. Oh, there, he's online now. So let's see if we can get Mike in here. Kurt is in New York for work, working on playing stuff for the 31 Days of Horror Games. So he's not coming. And Eric's sitting this one out as well, it seems like. So I think it's just going to be me playing and Mike looking at the chat once he's here. And the call to Mike did not go through, so I guess we'll see what happens there. Okay. So I'm just sending out a tweet to the masses so that everybody knows what's happening here. Because again, if you're watching this on YouTube, it probably doesn't make a difference to you, but if you're watching this live, you probably are the only one, or maybe two until I send that out. So I'm actually going to start playing the game now. So again, if you can read Japanese, that says Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti. Wanpaku is sort of a synonym for, or not a synonym, but it's roughly translated as naughty. So there's like this is like a chibi Splatterhouse game. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to play through the whole thing. I had a migraine today, so I'm probably gonna keep this to about 11 o'clock Eastern time. Maybe go a little bit over, depending on how far I make it. But you're gonna get to see a good long portion of the game here. So this is the intro. Rick is in the grave. We don't know why Rick is in the grave, but Jennifer's really happy that he's coming out of the grave. And there's the Pumpkin King to steal Jennifer away. And here's Mike Ailes, maybe also to steal Jennifer away. Or maybe here's not Mike Ailes, I don't know. Mike Ailes, are you here? We're going to have to conduct a seance to get Mike Ailes here. Oh, there's a chat thing. Uh-oh. Oh, I heard something. Mike Ailes, is your spirit in the room? Have we connected with you?
Hear what I'm saying?
There you go. I can hear you now. I don't need to get my Ouija board.
Turns
No
out
problem.
Mixer works better if you plug it in and turn it on.
True story. So, Mike, this is Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti.
Scared.
So, this game is, if I'm being honest, like a lot of the Splatterhouse games, it's actually kind of an average game, but for someone like me, the theme and the art and all that stuff sort of takes it over the edge. Yeah, if you're not into horror stuff, you'd probably find this to be a pretty average, or maybe like slightly above average action platformer.
What system is this?
And actually, this is plugged into my brand new to me AV Famicom, which, if you're unfamiliar, is like it's the top loading NES. It's the Famicom version of the top loading NES. But the weird difference is the original Famicom didn't have AV out; it just had RF. So it didn't have composite out, and the NES did have composite out. But when they put out the top loaders in Japan, they added composite out, and in the US they took it away.
That's strange. That's funny. I thought
Yeah,
the top loader NESs were supposed to be the best.
They play everything, so people like. Wow, I just died because I wasn't paying attention. People like them because they play anything. Yeah, you only get one life in this game, by the way. So I could continue, but I died in the middle of the first stage, so I'm not going to waste a continue on that. And we're going to skip the opening. Yeah, a lot of people like the. I mean, you can get. So the problem is that the NES, the AV signal that the NES outputs, either version is sort of trash either way. So you can get it modded. The old mod was actually to like cannibalize a board from a PlayChoice 10 machine. Yeah, that was the way they used to do it.
Would it just have a PlayChoice 10?
Well, it would, but regular NES cartridges don't play in a PlayChoice 10, so you need to get PlayChoice 10 cartridges, and not every game obviously is available in that format. So that was the old way to do it. Now there's a dude who figured it out and made a board that basically affixes to the NES's PPU, or Picture Processing Unit, and will output a lovely 480p progressive image in RGB, which you can, if you have a SCART cable, you can upscale it, or you can use component cables and get a really nice picture that way. This is the AV Famicom actually has a pretty clean composite signal, I think. Although mine's running through my Elgato, which then spits it out via HDMI, so it might look a little clean. Well, no, actually, I was playing it last night, plugged directly into my TV. For something I'm writing for 31 days of horror games. So there's your Michael Jackson Thriller. He totally is. And if you can, I have the music turned down on the TV, but if you can hear the music on the stream, it's very reminiscent of Thriller. It's like we don't want to get sued, but this is basically Thriller. So
can't hear it on the stream, unfortunately.
You can't hear the audio at all. Or it's just very quiet.
It's very quiet. There's some sound there.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's good. I don't want it to drown me out, but and down goes the Michael Jackson. You ever actually fight the Michael Jackson vampire? He just sends zombies after you.
If I understand correctly, by killing a bunch of monsters, you're building up your health bar.
You do. So that's one cool thing about this game. Is a tribute to Evil Dead. There's horror movie references littered throughout this entire game. There's a crawling hand, also a reference to Evil Dead Part 2. There's some laughing deer heads, also a tribute to Evil Dead Part 2. Yeah, every time, so the numbers in the corner is basically like a sort of a rudimentary experience system. So it's not going to be it's going to change as I go on. But right now, when I kill 9 more enemies, I will get another health bar. It's similar to Bionic Commando, kind of, in that way.
No green bullet canisters.
No green bullet canisters, but yeah. So so that's sort of the punishment for using a password. So you only have 4 continues, but then you get a password for every stage. If you use a password, you lose all of your health upgrades. You have to start from 4 health bars
is the
again.
Game hard enough.
So this obviously.
Problem, or?
I don't think so. So this is obviously a reference to The Exorcist, if you're not aware.
Soup spitting?
You're not going to see any pea soup spitting, just some head spinning and stuff like that.
They seem pretty generous with the cleaver hitbox there.
Yeah, your axe has a pretty generous hitbox. Yeah, so I died. And I don't know if I continue if I get a checkpoint or if I have to go all the way back. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I started the boss, so that's worth using a continue. Like I said before you got here, Mike, we're probably not going to see the end of this game.
Oh no, is it long or just hard?
I haven't played through it in a couple of years, and I had a migraine today, so I really want to be done around 11. Right. So
I got some keg work to do.
So I don't know that we're going to see the ending. And also, if we do see the ending, it probably won't be the best ending, because there's some, like, optional shit that you have to do that off the top of my head I don't remember how to do, even though I've done it before. If you want to see, like, a more concise discussion on this game, I did an episode of Obscure Old Games 2 years ago. 3 years ago, sorry, 3 years ago, about this game. So that's a thing that you can check out. Yeah, 2 years ago I did... what did I do? 2 years ago I did Master of Darkness for the Sega Master System. And last year, Obscure Old Games was on New Ghostbusters 2, which is also a Famicom game. And this year, the Obscure Old Games Halloween special is already up if you haven't watched it yet. It is about... it was today's entry in the Curse of 31 Days of Horror Games. Be Garbage of Cesspool, one of the famous lines from this game. It's on Holy Diver, which is an excruciatingly difficult sort of Castlevania clone from Irem.
Gotta ride that tiger.
You never get to ride the tiger, which Kurt right. Kurt called bullshit. Well, Roger sings it in the video, and I didn't get content ID'd for that, so... Maybe if you sing it with a thick upper Midwest accent, we won't get... but yeah, Kurt called bullshit on the not being able to ride a tiger thing.
But, you think if there's one thing you got to get right with that song... I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But the great thing about that game is, like, there was you would think maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Like, maybe that's just a name that they liked or something. But, like, no, if you read the translated manual, like, it's super obvious that, like, that is actually...
But now, is that because the manual was...
That's actually completely what they're going for.
No idea what the Japanese story was? Because that happened quite a lot at this era.
No, No. It was translated recently by someone, by a fan. Like, the game never came out in the US.
Translated manual.
Unofficially translated manual, which talks about the bad guy as the Black Slayer.
Sure.
The hero. No, there's no mention of anthrax, I don't think. But there's the king, the Crimson King, needs to be restored to his former glory, and in a mixing of references, the Crimson King's name is Ronnie. You play one of the sons of the Crimson King, whose name is Randy, with a brother named Zach, and they're put in the charge of their caretaker, Ozzy.
Fair enough. So probably chronologically the first game to reference Ozzy Osbourne as a enemy character.
He's not an enemy, he's an ally, but you never actually see Ozzy, I don't think, unless you make it to the end, which I've never beaten that game because it's really fucking hard. Like, obscenely
Maybe you should start making a new video series called Obscene Old Games.
Maybe. I don't know if I want to put myself through that much torture, though. But anyways, if you want to hear me talk more about that video is it's in the entry on the site immediately prior to the one you're looking at right now. If you're watching this on YouTube,
we have a couple people watching us in the real time. Yes, well,
do we? Do we have any comments in the comment box?
Jonathan was taken, as was I, by your battle with the headless cooked chickens in the stove.
Oh yes, yes, a reference to Poltergeist, of course.
Oh, or is it a reference? Poultrygeist.
Not Poultrygeist, Poltergeist. Poltergeist had not come out yet.
And actually, exceptionally, we briefly had the giant head, which I thought was appropriate for given the game we're playing, but he's gone now. Sorry.
Yes, he and his lovely bride penned the entry 2 entries ago, I think, about the Secret World, which was yesterday's. So this boss is super obnoxious. He only takes one hit, but if you get hit while trying to walk towards him, you get knocked all the way back to the left side of the screen.
Really annoying.
It's super annoying. Your timing has to be like spot on, and mine obviously was not, so I got sent back.
In response to my obscene old games comment, Jonathan suggests that there are many porn Tetris games to play. I'm more familiar with porn kicks variants.
Yeah, there are a lot of porn kick. There is definitely... I almost name-checked Porntris in my Tetris same name, different game, but I thought that would be, like, unnecessarily crass. But there was a I guess, shareware game, or a game that we, at least, friends of mine and I pirated off of a BBS, or, again, it might have been shareware, I don't remember, but it was called Porntris, and as you formed lines, there was, like, a really grainy, shitty animated gif of, like, a girl giving a blowjob or whatever.
I bet I would have loved that game
in the well. Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
The good question from Jonathan also is that green rat a reference to something, or did they just decide to make a weird green rat?
I am reasonably certain the green rat is a reference to something because like 90% of the bosses in this game are a reference to something, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, Giant Head is back, but he can't connect to the chat. But he connected long enough to say that he couldn't connect to the chat, so...
Alright.
There are some holes in your
here.
story there, buddy. That's all I gotta say.
Some holes in my story?
In Jared's.
There
you go.
Yes.
Well, okay. I'm like 30 seconds late to the party, but yeah, you killed that mouse. Good job.
I did kill that mouse. Welcome to Devil Town. Yeah, so this game is actually the first console Splatterhouse game, which is interesting. This predates even the TurboGrafx and FM Towns Marty ports of the arcade version.
Got ported really fast.